This is the AMX-30B, a Tier 10 French collector medium tank. A vehicle that has been very mediocre for many years in World of Tanks Blitz. A vehicle that had great mobility, solid gun depression, and even decent turret armor, but was always lacking in the damage per minute department. However, in the latest update of 10.3, the AMX-30B has become an absolute menace to society. The vehicle now features 3,300 DPM with calibrated shells and 3,500 with rammer. That is absolutely redonkulous, and it allows this tank to finally be amongst with the rest of the mediums in terms of DPM. The vehicle also got a massive dispersion buff going from 0.308 to 0.29. That is going to make this an excellent sniper. Now, in return, Wargaming did nerf the turret armor. It is now 120 mils, and even adding on the mantlet, it's only going to be about 230, which means that, yeah, you will get the occasional bounce, but don't trust the turret armor. Poke back in the cover. Now, that's normally what I do anyway. I kind of play the 30B like a slightly more armored Leopard. Its upper plate is definitely stronger, which can get you some troll bounces, and yeah, the turret is definitely better than the Leopard ones still. But that doesn't mean it is very well armored. So if you're up against tank destroyers or even tanks that you just shouldn't be trading with, I would recommend to either wait for them to shoot, look away, or just try to very carefully poke very quickly, get a brief snap in, and back in the cover. That's really the best way I would suggest to use the 30B. Here we are in our first battle. Up against us, we have a Batchat, a Caro, and E50M Sheridan. Wow, they got a lot of nasty vehicles. We do too, to be fair. We have a lot of mobility, 2 platooning 62As, a Vickers Light, T100. For some reason, Wargaming just doesn't like heavies, which is weird, but we're going to use the mobility of the 30B to get quite aggressive into the front line. We are indeed one of the fastest mediums in the game. Of course, we get hatched right out of the gate, though, which is obviously not what we're looking at. I don't trust that Batchat. Alright, we're all good. We're going to poke this very, very briefly and get a nice shell into the enemy E50M. And then we get penned all the way in the back. We can also see that the 113 GFT is playing a very aggressive role there. Alright, well, we're fine. We're just going to reload. We're going to chill right here. We'll see if that Batchat tries to poke us. But you can definitely see that the armor of this vehicle, I mean, look at that, right through the turret. The armor is basically non-existent on this vehicle at this point. Like, where you might get bounces previously, you're not going to be getting any bounces in the 30B anymore. But the good news is that this tank still does feature a very solid gun in terms of accuracy, DPM, all the things that you normally want. So we get a nice shell into the 113 GFT once. He is backing up, and we're not able to shoot the E100 at all. Well, that's not good. I can't even cross this, really. The good news, though, is that we have an E3 over here. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see. We're just going to wait, and we'll see if the C100... Come on. Turn your turret. Just turn it a little bit. We are spotted. Come on, just shoot. I'll sit here. I will wait for the C100. If I have to wait the entire game for this player, I will. Because at the end of the day, we are in a much more mobile position than he is, because we are medium after all. Oh boy, we got the IS-7 on us. There you go. We do get a shell into the enemy Batchat. Right now, it's just... Our team is playing so weird. Like, I can't even describe what they're doing because of what's going on. We're going to aim in a shell on the IS-7. We track him and pen him at the same time, which is good. And we are going to win. Just again, what a weird game unfolding here. Alright, well, unfortunately, we shoot at the Caro. We hit him right in the gun, which is not exactly what we want. E100's driving up, so we're going to aim it on his vehicle, put on our adrenaline, get one nice shell into his vehicle, reload, and get a second shell into his tank. Nice damage to his ammo rack again, which is obviously very, very good for us. We got the 113 GFT. Pokes us, thinks he can get the shell out. Obviously, he's not able to. We're going to drive right over, get a shell into the Caro, and we might actually die because our team just flat bounced him with every single shell they had. That's actually incredibly irritating, to be real. I can't... Did you guys watch that? My teammate just bounced right off the Caro. Well, oh well. It looks like this will still be a very easy victory, with the Vickers Light on the rear of the Caro and the E100 being at 1600. It's just a little annoying that we did get punished for doing the right thing, because we are the ones that end up getting punished for missing out on the hit points the E100 has. But we did fine. One thing that you should really notice, though, in this game with the 30B, we literally got 0 bounces on our turret. We were fully hull down, not showing our hull, and we were only poking with our turret. And we got penned every single shot. Now, personally, I do think that the vehicle should still have kept at least a bit of its turret armor. It's a little annoying that you just poke and get penned every shot, especially after, you know, this vehicle has a playstyle of good turret armor for the past, I don't know, 8 years, but it's been out for at least 5 years. But hey, we still did top on the team, we did 3,900 damage, and we aced the vehicle. So a pretty solid result for our first game in the 30B. Let's see if we can keep it up and do it in another game. Alrighty, battle number 2. Once again, we are up against the same platoon. And what else do we have? We got a 62A, a Progetto, a lot of mobility being ran in these games. Now, we are going to go to mid-hill, because I am in a 30B, and this is the kind of tank you want to drive to mid-hill. We might be fighting the Caro. That'll be an absolute pain if we do. The Caro is, I'd be willing to say, still one of the hardest tanks to fight if you don't have armor. Like, if you're armored, it's great, because the Caro has barely any turret armor. You can just poke and pen it. But in a vehicle like the 30B, where you actually lack that turret armor, it's very, very tricky. Now, you'll notice I did a little snap there with my turret. That is able to hide my hatch, which allows us to actually get some decent bounces if, you know, you run it properly. Now, we can see the IS-7's up here, which is, well, yeah, going to be a little painful, especially because I don't have the most support. But let's see if we can get a shell into the prog. There you go. Nice slap right into his vehicle for 300. Okay, not too bad. We're getting shells out. That's the most important thing. We do have that hatch which is poking, which I obviously don't want to show too much. I'm hoping my prog helps. If my Progetto helps, this would be great. There you go. He's getting to the side of these guys. Yes, just like that. Then we can drive up the hill, get another nice shell on ourselves, back in the cover again. All right. Keep on doing this. Let's put on our adrenaline, and there you go. Yes. After I've been playing on EU so long and, you know, been dealing with the ping, playing on NA and having, like, perfect ping, it feels like you're a god, to be honest. Like, the accuracy is absolutely insane. So we are just peppering this poor IS-7 right now. I'm trying to bait him. Unfortunately, well, I was going to say it looks like he's not falling for it, but look at that. We actually got a bounce right through our gun mallet. And this is where now having that increased DPM allows us to easily tear into this IS-7. So there you go. IS-7's cleared. We're going to go low. We're going to go wide, get behind the 60 TP. Should be able to get some free damage. This tank still features absolutely incredible mobility, which is, it's just great. I mean, having mobility is one of the most underrated things. It allows you to just be so aggressive and get away with what you really want. So we're going to ignore the 60. We're going to push right up here and bounce the Caro. Interesting. Well, let's get a nice ram into his tank. Then we're going to drive this way to make sure that the 60 TP can't shoot us. There you go. The Caro physically can't kill me. I mean, he knows that. He doesn't have the potential to kill me. So we get the shot into him, and just like that, a very, very easy win. You can see how I tunneled the Caro over the 60 because I don't want that vehicle to reload its shells. Even if it did have a full clip, I know I have enough health to take the full clip. That vehicle cannot beat me on DPM. So the only way that Caro could beat me is if it shot once, reloaded, and then dumped. But people aren't smart enough to do that in the Caro, so the way we attacked him was definitely the smartest route. We did a lot, 4,400 damage. We absolutely dominated that poor Progetto on the hill. I don't really think he just was that experienced. He's not a bad player, just, I don't know, man got bodied. So, great game. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I think the 30B is possibly the best tier 10 medium, or let me rephrase that. It's not the best tier 10 medium. It is one of the best. There are a lot of amazing mediums like the Patton, the STB in the latest update, the 121 is tungsten, the Kampfpanzer is tungsten. There are so many great tanks that I can't say that this alone is the best, but it's easily the top 3. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.